What is happening, everybody? It is DW here, bringing you part 2 of Year in Review. This time, we're going to be reviewing the Falcons versus the Vikings in week 1 action. So let's get started. Starting in the first, the Vikings start the game with a big sack on Matt Ryan. A few plays later, on 3rd and 14, Matt Ryan scrambles for 12 yards. It impressed me. Even though it was impressive, it's still not enough to get the first for the Falcons, so they end up punting. But on the punt, the Vikings get a big block and recover on the 21. The Vikings start the drive with a big Dalvin Cook run, 13 yards, but that gets called back. Next is a short pass that gets the Vikes a quick 8. After that, they throw a 23-yard pass to Adam Thielen, which gets them the points. That puts the score at 7-0. The Falcons' next drive, they get a quick first down before Matt Ryan gets intercepted by Harris. That puts the Vikings in good field position 2 times in a row. So they come out, and Dalvin Cook busts out with a big 21-yard rush before he's brought down. After a Kirk Cousins sack, Dalvin Cook busts out another big rush, gets 19 yards and another touchdown for the Vikings. That puts the score at 14-0. Later into the first quarter and the beginning of the second, the Vikings got a drive going with a big run by Madison. But after a penalty and a few nothing plays, the drive really ended. They punted the ball out. After the punt, Matt Ryan threw 2 passes, both for first downs, 14 and 20 yards. After those 2 quick first downs, Ryan scrambles for another 12 yards, picking up another first down. The Vikings get called for offsides. After that, Freeman gets a handoff. He rushes off to the left side, I believe, and the ball gets poked out, and the Vikings pick it up. So on that next Vikings drive, Dalvin Cook rushes for 22 yards, followed by Madison coming in and rushing for 17. That put the Vikings at the 1-yard line. 2 plays later, after Kirk Cousins kind of jumped over the pile, he got a touchdown. That put the score at 21-0. The next Falcons drives gets a few first downs, then they stall out and punt. 3-and-out drive by the Vikings. And the Falcons got the ball back, and they started driving pretty well, but they eventually ran out of time right before halftime. So after halftime, the Falcons received the kickoff. They drove 82 yards downfield, but in the red zone, Matt Ryan tossed a pass to the back corner. That was intercepted by Harris once again. The Vikings took over, and they got a few short plays before Diggs made a great catch over a defender. Penalty flags came out. The penalty was for lowering the head to initiate contact. That was on the Falcons. That made that one play a 46-yard gain for the Vikings. That's something you really can't give up, especially when you're down by 21. The next play, Dalvin Cook rushed for off to the left side. The Falcons laid him out. That pulled a second lowering the head penalty, which is absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason you should do that. The Vikings were then on the 7-yard line, and that's all Dalvin Cook needed to run a second one in. That put the score at 28-0. The Falcons started their next drive with 2 quick first downs, and then nothing really happened until later on. On 4th and 5, Calvin Ridley got past his defender and made a grab in the end zone. The Falcons did fail to get the 2-point conversion, so that made the score 28-6. The Vikings didn't do anything big on their next drive, so the Falcons got the ball back. Late in the drive, the Falcons bust out a quick few first downs before getting the ball to Julio Jones for a score. They went for a 2-point conversion again, but didn't get that, so that put it at 28-12. The Falcons just got scoring way too late in the game. The Vikings just took the ball and clocked it out the rest of the way. So the final score was 28-12. A few things I noticed during the game were that the Vikings just constantly kept jumping offsides. That can be a problem in close games, but it didn't really affect them here. But when the Vikings didn't jump off sides, Matt Ryan rarely ever had a good look downfield. It just felt like they were sitting on top of him the entire game. That's why it blows my mind that Matt Ryan threw for 300 yards. Going through the stats, Kirk Cousins only threw the ball 10 times the entire game, but the run game dominated everything else, so it didn't matter. So Kirk Cousins went 8 for 10, 98 yards and a touchdown. Dalvin Cook rushed 21 times for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Madison rushed for 49 yards, and Cousins got the other rushing touchdown. Only 3 guys caught the ball for the Vikings, but Adam Thielen received for 43 yards and Diggs caught for 37. On the defensive side for the Vikings, Harris grabbed 2 interceptions, and like I said, the defensive line was just on top of Matt Ryan. For the Falcons, Matt Ryan threw the ball 46 times, completed it 33. He threw for 304 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. On the rushing side, Ito Smith ran for 31 yards, Matt Ryan ran for 24, and Freeman ran for 19. Matt Ryan did spread the ball around quite a bit. So Hooper received for 77 yards. Ridley received for 64 yards. Sanu received for 57. Justin Hardy had 41, and Julio Jones had 31 and a touchdown. Well, that's all I have for the Falcons versus the Vikings. The next game I'll be reviewing is the Tampa Bay game. We'll see how that goes. Thank you for stopping in, and goodbye.